Okay, thank you, Morgan, for putting this all together, and thank you everyone for coming on to learn more about our export expansion grant. This is not a real long PowerPoint, but we're going to go through this and I'll open it up for some questions, and then I'll show everyone where the application form and the RFP is on our website, and we can buzz through the application as well. But as it is, our export expansion grant, the objective is to accelerate export growth of Wisconsin dairy, meat, and crop products through export expansion projects. We're talking about accelerating the growth of milk and dairy products, meat, including poultry and fish and meat products, crop and crop products. Successful projects will meet one or more of the following: cultivate new to export and emerging export agribusinesses, build exporting capacity and knowledge of the industry, increase understanding of foreign markets and consumers, make products export ready or develop products for specific export markets, and promote Wisconsin products in foreign markets. In order to be eligible, you must be a nonprofit located in Wisconsin, serving or demonstrating the ability to serve Wisconsin agribusiness companies. Eligible nonprofits may collaborate with other state, regional, and national organizations. Eligible applicants can be agribusiness associations, technical colleges, state and private universities, regional, county, and municipal economic development organizations. Need to demonstrate the capability to receive, manage, and provide reporting on projects which meet grant objectives, and cannot be a DADCAP employee or immediate family member. In terms of funding, we have over $580,000 available in the grant program. Grant awards will range from $25,000 to $50,000. Projects will last for 2 years with an optional third year. Matching funds are 20%. So if you have a $50,000 grant, you need to match $10,000. Matching funds can be either cash or in kind. You can match more than 20% if you want. You are not required to, but that will also not necessarily, or it won't play a role in grant award determination. In terms of projects, they will be selected based on the scope, impact, and export growth potential. The intent is for agribusiness industry organizations, economic development organizations, and academic institutions to develop innovative and impactful projects to provide strategic and long-term growth to Wisconsin agricultural exports and exporters. In terms of timeline, applications are due 2 weeks from tomorrow, March 18th. We are hoping to notify all applicants by April 6th, and projects are slated to begin on May 6th. In terms of eligible and ineligible expenses, I'll buzz through these real quick, but you can see the RFP for a full list of eligible and ineligible expenses. Eligible-wise, travel expenses, so that includes airfare, lodging, ground transportation, hosted meals, venue and equipment rental, marketing materials and publications, event promotion costs, purchased research and reports on foreign entities, subscription to international data tools, translation, interpretation, and localization services, food and agricultural products, packing materials, development supplies, advertising and promotion for grant project. Ineligible expenses are real estate purchases, loan or mortgage repayment, capital equipment expenses, rent or contract payments for time periods beyond the grant contract, administrative and overhead costs not tied to the grant project, advertising expenses other than related to the grant project, legal fees, lobbying, fundraising, or other political activities. It's worth noting here that any costs incurred prior to the formal execution of a contract will not be eligible either. Something to keep in mind. Beyond that, that is the end of our PowerPoint. If there are any questions now, open that up. Morgan, do we have anything?
No questions so far, Ryan. So
Okay.
while we wait, do you want to go through to the website and kind of show them where everything is?
Yeah, we're going to do that. Bear with me here as I stop sharing stuff.
And while we're waiting here for Ryan to pull up the screen, again, please feel free to put your questions into the chat box or unmute yourself at this time. Once we get back going, if and he's working through the presentation on the website, feel free to continue putting in your comments or questions into the chat.
One second here.
And also, while we're waiting here, I will place the website for the application and grant materials that Ryan will be showing you into the chat. So you'll have easy access to that if you'd like to look at it as well. All right, Ryan, I will turn it back over to you.
All right, awesome. This is our CAT-CAP website, and navigating over to where the links are for the agricultural exports is easy enough. It's going to be number 1 right here under our current items. If I click on Wisconsin Initiative for Agricultural Exports, scroll down to funding opportunities, you'll see the request for proposal PDF and then the application. In terms of the RFP, if I go on that, this walks you through everything in terms of your guide for the grant itself, what we're looking for in the application, and how to go about constructing a good application, what's required, when to submit. They are due to me 5 o'clock on the 18th. If you don't have computer access, please let me know. My information is on the PowerPoint. You'll see below what is expected after the award determinations are made, any reporting requirements we have, semi-annual reports as well as final reports as well. A little bit more, this is just some of your fun legal stuff. Here's your evaluation criteria. So this is going to be a rubric that you want to make sure you're addressing or filling out your grant application. That's all going to be on our RFP. So if you have not looked at that, do so. It's 10 pages long. It's not too daunting. In terms of the application, it's going to be there. And are you getting the application, Morgan?
No, we are not seeing it right now. I think you'll have to open it and share another screen.
One moment.
And while we're waiting for Ryan to pull that up, I will also put Ryan's contact information in the chat. So if you have any questions after the webinar is concluded, or if you need a paper copy of these, feel free to contact him. So Ryan, I will turn it back over to you.
Cool. All right, here's our application. This is only 3 pages long. You'll see we had some, we've got character limits because we as grant reviewers are looking for information in a condensed manner, okay? We don't necessarily need to hear the entire history of your company or whatnot, but what your project is looking to accomplish. Okay, when you come across some of these checkboxes, if you double click on them, you should have a screen pop up. You can navigate between not checked and checked and hit OK, and that'll check it. If that is not working for you, you can always highlight this just to let us know what area it is your project will be focusing on. It's gonna be the same way with the objectives too. We double click on the box, check, OK. From there, though, you see how many characters are max characters for each area there, your project potential impact, your work plan, how many times you can hit enter and return, what the activity is, who's involved, and what the timeline is on that. We're not necessarily looking for a specific date, but rather a month, or if it's a range, that's understandable and acceptable as well. Coming down to the budget category, you're going to want to make sure you keep everything you're looking for within these ranges. or within these specific areas, and you'll again see how many characters are allowed in each box. We can certainly include salary for any of the grant projects, subcontracting. Travel, we understand this might be a lot more, and you can feel free to add lines if need be. There's subscription, purchase, research and reports, promotion, marketing, publications, supplies and materials, and then miscellaneous category as well. So that is the highlights of the application. Beyond that, there's really not a whole lot to go over, but I will check with Morgan to see if we have any questions.
No questions in the chat, Ryan. So
Okay.
I invite anyone at this point, if you have any questions about that grant application or request for proposals, feel free to either unmute yourself or place your question in the chat at this time. All right, hearing none, we will go ahead and conclude. I will give you about 45 minutes of your day back. So thank you so much for joining us again. I have placed Ryan's contact information in the chat. So feel free to contact him with any questions that you have. Also in the chat, I've placed the link to go to the application materials. So feel free to visit that and look at the RFP and application. We are here to help, so feel free to reach out to us. We are happy to help anytime. So thank you so much for joining us, and we'll talk to you.
Morgan, just one note real quick.
Yeah, go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, when you are submitting an application to me, please make sure to ask for a confirmation email. I send those anyways, but if you don't hear back from me after you submit the application, there's a good chance I didn't get it or something else came up. So if I do not reply to your email, that's you need to make sure that that you follow up on that anyways. I also have kind of a funky email address with ryan.d.dunn@wisconsin.gov. If you're used to emailing other government employees, they might just have the dot between their first and their last name, but since this is my second government gig, I had to get a new email address. So keep that in mind when you are submitting your application. That is all.
All right, thanks, Ryan. All right, thank you so much, everybody. Again, if you have questions, feel free to reach out to us anytime. Thank you.
Thank you.